Ladies and gentlemen, David Parker II.
Sorry about that, it's baking up here, so. Jeez. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to begin by thanking the staff, the National Baseball Hall of Fame for bringing us together, celebrating not just 5 legendary players, but the game itself. I would also like to honor God and his internal guidance. Without none of this, it would have made none of it possible. My earliest memories are running up and down the baselines at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, which remains fresh in my mind as a young boy. A lot of players called him Pops, which of course what I would call him. Eric Davis, Barry Larkin, players that he played with in Cincinnati. I know my stats look like everything would stop, and what the expert would say, when ancient YouTube videos show me in all the faded living color, well, I just want you to know, to all my Pittsburghs and all my Queen City brothers and sisters, Pop's journey up and down to California, to his 1 year in Milwaukee, every franchise cap that Dave Parker ever wore kept him warm and touched his soul. Even in Toronto, I asked him. He said, "I know I'm a Blue Jays legend, Dave Parker." Pops used to joke. For the minute my old teammate Cisco Gaskin called me on the phone, asking me to come up to Canada and help him win this thing, leading to my 6th and final sip of the crisp division win champagne. Even in Anaheim, especially Anaheim, I got to spend months with my all-star pal, Winnie. We finally experienced moments as teammates that we used to joke about all them during midsummer classics. Winnie, Pops, remembered every steak dinner on the road in '91 when y'all shared post-career dreams and plans. You affected Pop's life more than you'll ever know. Thank you. Even in Milwaukee, I asked my Pops. He said, "I got to play with Robin Yount and Paul Molitor. Every night was an all-star game. I knew there'd be future Hall of Famers straight from the jump. I also found a dazzling rookie named Gary Sheffield, showing the league that he could be one of the best business. Brother Chef," Pops said, Pops said that you were a brilliant athlete who could become a brilliant and successful man. He was so proud of you. I didn't have to ask about Oakland. Pops told this one himself. 2 American League titles, 1 sparkling World Series ring, all those breakfasts with Dennis, those nights out on the town with Stewie and Ricky, my shopping buddy. Pops often recalled the first conversation with A's manager Tony La Russa when he was traded to Oakland. "I don't care about all your numbers. I just want you here for the leadership. Teach these kids how to win." The man gave Pops a purpose beyond personal goals, and he never forgot that. Cincinnati, those astonishing rays of life bursting through the twilight of the career. Bob Hausman gave Pops a second chance in his hometown. From '84 to '87, Dave Parker spent hours upon hours teaching the inside baseball life to young Eric Davis. "Brother E, you sure showed the league what baseball awesome looks like." One of the greatest players of the 1980s. Pops loved telling stories and visiting the Silverton home on College Hill, and the shortstop named Barry Larkin, convincing him to play in our fine Queen City. Hall of Famer Mr. Larkin needs no introduction, but Pops always said Brother Barry is a fine human being as he was a shortstop. I know how much Dave Parker savored his role as a spiritual father to these young men. Cincinnati is our home. Cincinnati is our home. I grew up there. Pops grew up there, went to school there, worked out at Crosley Field for years, slinging lemonade at hot dog stands, hitting countless balls in the Mill Creek. Dave Parker's affection for the franchise spent decades from Bob Housen and Bob Castellini, Rick Walls at the Reds Hall of Fame, everyone who works at Great American Ballpark, the fans, oh, of course, and yes, the fans. You should see the smile on their faces whenever people approached us, entering the Grater's Ice Cream or at Montgomery Inn. "You got a lot of fans, Pops," I would say to him. Often growing up, my father would just shake his head pleasantly. They ain't fans, son. They're friends, forever friends. No doubt the most inside Dave Parker's body also bleeds Cincinnati red, a bottomless well of affection from our hometown people. Today, Dave Parker is entering the Hall of Fame as a Pittsburgh Pirate. That's right, the Burr, the Bucks. We would drive into town for the weekend events at the stadium, autograph things, meet and greets. We shoot through the Fort Pitt Tunnel, get with the blast of daylight overlooking the majestic rivers. We often see billboards and installations celebrating Pittsburgh's cultural history. Pops love to say, man, you see these legends? I see old friends. You pass a restaurant, I know Dick Permini. You pass a jazz mural, I know Walt Harper. You pass the WQED building, I know Fred Rogers. Pops knew a lot of people. Roberto Clemente taught me how to love like a Major League Baseball player. These four men, nurtured in the Pirates organization, installed the very highest concern for others. Doc Ellis, Willie Stargell, Al Oliver, some of the people that I'm talking about. Dr. Doe, Pops would never worry about you because you were always the smartest one in the room. You always knew the score on and off the field. Baseball brought you both together, but life and love kept you tight in all these years. The Pittsburgh general manager, Joe L. Brown, chose Dave Parker, an injured high school football player in June 1970, from the draft, and encouraged him throughout his years in the fall system. He managed. Danny Murtaugh and Chuck Tanner provided the room to blossom and achieve great things. I know my Pops is so touched in how the Steel City fans have welcomed him back. Each and every one of you meant the world to him. Yes, Dave Parker is a Bucco. Dave Parker achieved legendary things as a Bucco, and he holds the organization close to his heart, from Bob Nunning, the late, great Charlie Muse, and everyone today at PNC Park. Through all the individual teams and accomplishments he enjoyed during the 11 seasons with Pittsburgh, and the moments surrounded by his teammates and mentors, that meant the most to my dad. Pops wanted to say that this honor would have never happened if it weren't for the efforts of so many other folks in his personal life. He wanted to thank Coach Harry and Mrs. Helen Kugel, his high school educators, who kept his eyes on the prize during the darkest teenage years of serious injury and family loss. We want to thank Sam Reach, the late Tom Reach, and Barry Meister, his agents, close advisors, for handling all the details off the field during his career. He loved you, gentlemen. We will want to acknowledge Joe Leo and Mark Goodhart, who have dedicated so much personal passion to Dave Parker. Thanks for having Pops back mostly all these years, and I really appreciate you. I treat you men like family. We also want to thank Doug King and Teresa King for keeping the flame alive of the Dave Parker 39 Foundation. Our annual golf outing will be successful without Teresa managing every detail, and Doug. You've been such a wonderful and confident person to Pops, and such a critical part of pushing us all forward and finding a cure for Parkinson's disease. We ain't there yet, but we're gonna get there one day. We also like to thank Charlie Frank from the Cincinnati Reds Community Fund and all his work in supporting Major League Baseball RBI program and the Reds Urban Academy, as we brought together thousands of youth kids through hundreds of clinics and events to allow the next generation to enjoy, love, and appreciate baseball. Dave Parker always wanted to write a book, waited decades for the writer to tell his story the right way, and along came Dave Jordan, DJ as I would call him, who always came to town on a moment's notice, away for his family, to help Pop set the record straight, to tell the tale in poetic and wild fashion. Pops said, you got to finish up the second book, so DJ, you're on speed dial, brother. To Uncle Jimmy and Uncle Lonnie, you and Pops have been through thick and thin together, even every up and down, and always at the moment to decide no matter what. Pops loves you both, and I love you the same. Pops wanted to say to my 6 darling children, 13 grandchildren, and 4 beautiful great-grandchildren, you are the true achievement of my life, and warmth, love, and affection that each of you bring when we're together. Keep me going through daily. I love you so much. For my mom, Pops, my dearest Kelly, my wife, my happily ever after, the one who when the leaves turn brown, did everything in her power to keep me around. I love you so much, baby. Thank you for all the good things in my life. Pops played 3 sports in high school. Basketball kept him busy in the winter. Football was his job, but baseball was his love, more than other sports. Baseball, a cultural traditions passed down over generations, from mamas to sons, daddies to daughters, standing on the baseball fields, from Shea Stadium to Chavez Ravine, the small hot dog stands, fresh cut grass, and spilled beer away reminded Pops of his youthful American career. It was a perfect America, but it was his, and it's always made him feel like a 17-year-old high school catcher, watching from the stands, learning how to frame pitchers like Johnny Bench. My father, Dave Parker, passed away last month at the age of 74, working on this speech during his final weeks. Pops wanted me to leave everyone with this poem that he wrote, that he gave me a long time ago. And he said if he ever made it here, to read it. So that's what I'm about to do. Here I am, 39, about damn time. I know I had to wait a little, but that's what you do with fine age wine. I'm a pirate for life. Wouldn't have it no other way. That was my family. Even though I didn't go on parade day, I love y'all. The Bucks own my heart, because those 2 championships I got, y'all played in the first part. I'm in the hall now. You can't take that away. That statue better look good. You know I got a pretty face. Top tier athlete, fashion icon, sex symbol. No reason to list the rest of my credentials. I'm him, period, the Cobra, known for my rocket arm, and I will run any catcher over. To my friends, families, I love y'all. Thanks for staying by my side. I told y'all Cooperstown would be my last ride. So the Star of Day will be in the sky tonight. Watch it glow. But I didn't lie. On my documentary, I told you I wouldn't show. Thank you.
Ten out of 10. Wow. A 10 out of 10. Dave Parker II reading a poem at the end on behalf of his late father, Dave Parker. That was incredible.
Man, that was awesome.